How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another episode of 2020 Cup or Bust. Sorry for no video last week, but with the new roster update, I had to go through and change all the prospects, ratings, potentials again, as well as remake all the created players from before, so it did take quite a bit. In this episode, we're doing the Carolina Hurricanes. For those of you that still haven't figured it out, we're just simply going alphabetically, so obviously the next one will be Chicago after this one. Hurricanes should be pretty interesting. They have a pretty good team, obviously a very young team, but haven't been in the playoffs in a while. They're in the Metro Division, so one of the toughest divisions in the NHL. Currently, they're tied for second last in rating. Philly's actually the worst, surprising, with 88. Then they're tied there with Islanders and Rangers at 89. So right now, they would actually not even be in a wild card spot, just looking at Metro Division itself. But they have a very good young D-core, some pretty good young forwards. They definitely need a goalie. That's one need we have for sure. And we could probably even use a first-line center. I feel like those are the two biggest needs, and they're also two of the toughest things to get. As you guys can see there, salary cap waivers and computer trades are all on. And if you need a refresher on the rest of the settings, we use the most realistic ones possible. So game style is full sim. Injuries are off though, just so they don't play too much of a factor. Period length 20 minutes. Difficulty superstar. Draft pick ownership authentic. Salary cap obviously on. Trade difficulty hard. Waivers also on. And I'm still using a few of my own rules. First one, obviously, unlimited free agent signings. Next one, max 5 trades per year. CPU offers, though, are a bonus. Cannot trade picks past 2020. And finally, we need to keep at least 4 picks per draft. That way we make sure not to ruin the team's future. Also, guys, with the new roster update, I had to remake a bunch of the created players from before. Obviously, EA put Middlestat and Tolvanen in themselves, so I decided to actually add some more of my own, as well as change some of the already existing ones. So right here, we have Brady Tkachuk. He hasn't changed. 18 years old, 74 overall, immediately potential, one of the top prospects in the 2018 draft. Cole Caulfield will be in the 2019 draft. He's 16, 72 with high top 6. He was 70 before, so I gave him a +2 upgrade. Kellen McCarr is the exact same, 18, 72, medium elite, obviously assigned to the Avs. Ilya Kovalchuk I actually downgraded by 1. Because he seems so easy to sign, I wanted to make him a little less impactful. Now, I actually didn't intend on lowering his rating. I simply just lowered his speed. As he is 34 now, I figured he's probably no longer an 87 speed, which is what I had him at. Lowered it to 84 along with acceleration and agility. I lowered by a bit, and that alone actually made him an 83, so hopefully he's a bit more fair now. Next year's Elia Samsonov. He's a Washington goalie prospect who's actually expected to sign with the Capitals in the next week or so, and I was looking at a bunch of different sites, and all of them said that he's the best goalie prospect in the NHL, so that's why he's already 76 overall at 20 years old, and he also has medium potential, so he's like a slightly better version of Thatcher Demko, essentially. Speaking of goalie prospects, I actually decided to add a bunch, as I felt like franchise mode really lacked them in years 4 and 5 especially. You'll have 85s getting paid $7 million just because there's no good goalies, so decided to add a bunch in. So right here we have Igor Shesterkin, New York Rangers prospect, 21, 72 with low elite. Reason for that is he's in the KHL. There's actually a chance he never even signs with the Rangers, but obviously, like I said, I wanted to add some goalies, so gave him low elite. I figured that made more sense. Next here, Ilya Sorokin, Islanders goalie prospect, 22, 74, also low elite potential. He's supposed to be a little bit better than Shesterkin. And honestly, these guys are tongue twisters trying to say, all 3 of them, or 2 of them first name Ilya, the other one's Igor. All of them last name starts with S. So confusing, but we'll figure it out. Next here, Joel Farabee. I think he's the same as before, or actually he might have been a 66. Now he's a 68, so I made him a bit better. Still has medium top 6 potential. Jack Hughes, I made a 79 opposed to a 78, just to make him a bit more NHL ready out of the draft, and he has high elite potential. Next year's another goalie prospect in Jake Ottinger, 18 years old, 68 overall with high starter potential. He was actually drafted by the Stars in the first round of last year's draft. Next year, Oliver Wahlstrom, upgraded him quite a bit. Before he was a 68 with high top 6, now he's a 69 with medium elite. I've seen a lot of different projected draft boards with him in the top 10 for sure. Some people even have him as high as 5 or 6, so I figured he should be competing with the rest of the guys in terms of having medium elite potential, although I do have him a little bit lower rated there. Next, Quinn Hughes, of course. I'm a big fan of, plays for Michigan. I think he's the exact same. I might have given him a bit more speed, but that is it for the created players. There's 12 in total, and like I already said, Middlestat and Tolvanen are now in the game. And on the line for this episode, guys, is a Team of the Year Sebastian Aho. I haven't had Team of the Year on the line for a few episodes, so hopefully we can win the Cup here in one of these 3 years. Would hate to have to quick sell him. Let's see what we can do with this team. So here's a look at the team, guys. Forward group's not too bad. We have Aho, Stahl, and Teravainen on the first line. Lindholm, Rask, Skinner on the second. Stemniak, Ryan, and Williams on the third, with Nordstrom, DiGiuseppe, and McGinn on the fourth. So honestly, we had a first line center. Stahl goes to second. Rask goes to third. Pick up a third line left winger to replace Stemniak. That's not too bad a forward group. Defense, like I was saying, very good, very young. We don't have to add anybody to the defense. Hanifin and Falk in the top pair. Hanifin for sure will grow with that potential at 20 years old. Falk even still has a couple years left. He could grow a bit more. Same goes for Pesci and Slavin. They're going to grow. Fleury, low elite, if he has a good year, could definitely get a big boost. TVR is like a kind of perfect sixth defenseman. Really can't ask for much more than that. Now, the goalies aren't too great. Cam Ward's an 82, quite old. Darling's an 80, plus he's got a terrible contract. $4 million for the next 4 years. Honestly, I'm probably going to buy him out after this year, assuming he doesn't like go up in overall or anything like that. Quick look at the AHL team. Really not much to see. You got Warren Fogle here. I hope that's how you say his name. Just like the guy in Superbad. Martin Nikas, though, is very solid. Top 6 forward potential. Same with Gauthier here, low elite. After those two, though, there's just really nothing for prospects, even on D. Jake Bean actually is in the CHL, so otherwise he'd be here. Plus McCown's not too bad. Actually, we do have a decent backup here in Eljovic. 21-68 with medium starter, so not too bad. Like I was saying before, the main things we need to add is a first-line center, either through a trade or the draft, as well as a starting goaltender. This year, I definitely don't plan on making the playoffs, but I'm thinking year 2, we definitely should be in the playoffs, and year 3, competing for that Stanley Cup. And right here, guys, trying to make our first trade, trading 4 AHL potential players, all with 2 years left, for the Dallas Stars 4th round pick. Obviously gives us roster spots now to sign free agents, as well as helps us out next year. I think the Stars should say yes, looking at the trade value, and they do, so that's pretty awesome. Also, guys, while I'm on the trade screen, there's 2 things I wanted to show you. First thing I totally forgot to mention, I was showing you all the new created players, and that's that I actually got rid of all of the players on LTIR that are most likely never going to play another hockey game. So, for instance, Dave Boland's on LTIR for the Arizona Coyotes. He's no longer in the franchise mode. To do this, all I did was lowered his rating and then sent him to free agency. That way he's no longer on the Arizona team. Also, no team will sign him in free agency as he's too low rated, especially with his age. So like I was saying, this is every player who's essentially retired, but they're sitting on LTIR until their contract runs up for whatever reason. This way, obviously, their team gets that money to spend, as there's no LTIR in NHL 18, so they're kind of getting a penalty that they aren't actually getting in real life. So David Boland, Marian Hossa's probably done. I did it with Ryan Clough as well, as he's like a coach now. Same goes for Clark MacArthur. I also did it with Nathan Horton on Toronto, Derek Dorsett on Vancouver, David Clarkson on Vegas, and I think that's everybody. So hopefully, that makes the franchise mode even more realistic. Was trying to do my best here to make this thing as realistic as possible. Also want to show you guys the assets our team has to work with. Obviously, just made a trade. Noah Hannafin there has the most value by a lot, followed by Justin Falk, Aho, Skinner, Teravainen, and after that, really no one has crazy amount of value. For goalies, Eljovic has a decent amount of value, but I don't know if he'll be good enough to be our starting goaltender by even the 3rd year, so we'll probably still have to find a goalie of our own. Draft picks there, we have a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 2 4ths now, a 6th and a 7th, and honestly, the only bad contract we have is Marcus Kruger, who's got 2 years left, so we could just buy him out at the end of this year, along with Darling, but it'd probably be worth it. Also, guys, as you can see there, our team status is rebuilder. I'm honestly a little surprised by that. I thought we would have been hopeful, and it's actually kind of relevant, as you will see here in a second. In the last video, someone had a really good suggestion in the comments that I'm going to use in regards to signing Ilya Kovalchuk. If the team we're using has a rebuilder status, we're not allowed to sign him, as most likely he's not going to be re-signing with a rebuilder. If our status is hopeful, we're allowed to make him an offer, but it has to be for less than what he's asking. And then if we're a contender or champion, we can offer him whatever we want. So I think that makes the Kovalchuk signing more fair, and that way also we're not always signing him. And then even if we are making him an offer, there is a chance we can get outbid for one of the hopeful teams, especially now that obviously his salary ask is a bit less because he's an 83, and a bunch of teams have a bit more money to spend with those guys being on LTIR. But we obviously could still sign Hudler and Toulouse here, just for the purpose of trying to trade at the deadline. Also, too, we always like to sign Samuelson, as he's got a decent amount of value. He's free. It's like, why not sign him? And right now, actually, we're below the salary cap minimum. I was trying to send some guys down, it wouldn't even let me, so might as well sign him. Also, Ekman Larsson's usually worth signing. Never really grows too much, but has like enough value where it makes sense to sign him for free. Gonna make an offer on Sumala here as well, just because, again, we have the money. Why not just add an asset? And I think both Hudler and Toulouse will also try to sign. We definitely could use them on the NHL team. Forward, 4th line's not very great, and you could maybe even package them at the deadline. So I'll give them both 100K more than they're asking. And as you can see here, Ekman Larsson accepted our deal. Same with Sumala. Hopefully Samuelson did, as well as the other 2. So yeah, Samuelson did, Hudler did, and so did Toulouse. So we got every single guy we made an offer on. And like I was saying before, guys, I feel like we could use a 1st line center, so I'm going to try and get Casey Middlestat from the Buffalo Sabres. Obviously not a first line center yet, but definitely could become one. 18 years old, 79 overall, low elite. This is the one that EA made, and for whatever reason, low elites in this game have like no value. As you can see here, both him and Reinhardt have the same value as Okposo, which really doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to try and trade from a position of strength to fill one of our weaknesses. Obviously, I have a ton of good young defensemen. Can afford to trade Jake Bean. He's also got low elite, but he's much lower rated than middle stat. I'm going to add this geeky prospect, unsigned, top 94 potential, with a third rounder to hopefully sweeten it enough that Buffalo does say yes. We'll see what they say. Trade rejected. Okay, I wouldn't mind making it like a second round pick. Middle stats already is 79. He'll get like second line center minutes for us, which means he should grow a ton. Being geeky in a second, I feel like they got to say yes to this. And they do. So honestly, that's a huge trade. And right here, guys, I'm actually trying to make a trade for that first line center in Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. There's been a bunch of speculation I've seen where like Edmonton should trade him to Carolina for one of their defensemen. 24-year-old, 83 overall center, medium top 6 potential. Offering them Rask, who I'm actually kind of trying to get rid of his contract. He's 24 years old, 80 overall, medium top 6. So I think a year older, 3 overall below, same potential, and he's making $2 million less. So I mean, might as well just pay Nuge the extra $2 million for a better version of Rask. Rask's like an 80 overall, making $4 million is way too much. I'm offering them this Luo Sterning guy, unsigned, top 94 potential, along with Zykov, who's a decent prospect, nothing crazy. I'm hoping those two prospects will kind of fill in the gap, as Nuge obviously does have a bit more value. We'll see what Edmonton says here. They reject the trade. Okay, so maybe if we add like a third round pick, I feel like we're pretty close. They will say yes. So I'm going to try adding a third round pick in this year's draft along with 2020. They want this year's third, and obviously the 2020 third doesn't really matter for us as much as the 2019. We'll see what they say. Hopefully it's a yes, and it is a yes. There we go. I did try originally with just our 2018 third, but they said no. So I mean, right there, 3 trades in, and already this team is a lot better. So right here, guys, look at the team after all those trades and signings. Honestly, it's not too bad, especially the first line. Aho, Nuge, Teravainen, they're all young with good potential. Like, if they have a solid year, they could all grow a lot. Same goes for the second line. It's pretty solid. You got Lindholm, Middlestat, and Skinner. Third line there, Toulouse, Stahl, and Williams. And then the fourth line is Stepniak, Ryan, and Hudler. So the forward group looks a lot better than it did when we first started out. Obviously, the defense and the goaltending has not changed. So I feel like we're still not a playoff team, or maybe, I don't know, like we might make the wild card, honestly. I think, though, because our goalies are so bad, it probably won't happen. And I'll try and do my best to trade them at the deadline, at least Ward, to make sure it doesn't happen. I want a high pick. AHL team here is honestly not too bad at all now. We sent down a few guys. You got Nordstrom and Kruger there on the first line with DiGiuseppe. Gauthier and Nikas, I'm hoping you can grow a lot there on the second with McGinn. You got Stanilson there on the third. Sorella and Sumala on the fourth. Obviously, McCown is still there on the D pair. But definitely like adding all those guys to forward, moving some down to AHL. I'm hoping for some growth this year. That's what the first year is all about with this team. Not trying to win in the first year, that's for sure. We're already hopeful, though, so that's good. Went from a rebuilder to hopeful. I think Kovalchuk already got signed, though. As you can see there, Florida actually signed Kovalchuk. Kind of funny, they got Dadonov last year, now Kovalchuk this year. But I'm going to start saving the season and just see kind of how it goes. So we're in November right now, and I just got this really interesting trade offer from Montreal. They want to give me Schlemko and a 4th round pick for Darlene and 2 fourths. So I'm essentially paying them a 4th to take Darlene, who's honestly got a much worse contract. It's getting paid double and an extra year longer. So I'm thinking I'd still buy Schlemko out, but he'd have 2 years left at $2 million, where Darlene would have 3 years left at $4 million. So the Schlemko buyout would be super cheap. I could even bury him and just take like a $1 million hit. I think I'm definitely going to do this. Like, the Schlemko rating doesn't even matter. Like I said, I'll most likely just buy out or bury anyway. So Montreal's doing me a huge solid here. Actually, he's 80 overall. He's not even that terrible. We could actually potentially trade him at the deadline. So saying yes to this 100%. And I just got another trade offer. This one's from the Maple Leafs. They want to give me a 2nd and a 4th in 2018 for Justin Williams, a 6th and a 7th. Honestly, that's pretty good value for Williams. Like, he's kind of old. 2018's probably the best draft of the two we do in terms of 2018, 2019. A second round pick, you could still get a top 6 forward potential player for sure. Williams, again, is older. He's 36. Yeah, like, he's definitely, if he's not regressing this year, I think he's regressing next year. Trade him while he's got some value. I'm going to say yes to this offer. I think that's another good trade offer. Still can't believe we somehow like got rid of Darlene, and I think this is another good deal for us. We're a couple weeks away from the trade deadline now. Winnipeg's putting Joe Morrow on waivers. I think he might be decent. 25.76, medium top 6. I mean, to get him for free, why not? And yeah, like I was saying, we're about 2 weeks away from the deadline. 23, 25, and 8 record. Was hoping we'd be a little bit worse than that, but can definitely trade away a couple players at the deadline and keep tanking. And we're now at the trade deadline here, record of 26, 27, and 9. So we're probably not last in the division, but we also aren't in a playoff spot, which is like, you know, the limbo area. Definitely need to start losing. So yeah, Washington surprisingly is last in the division, 56 points. That is very, very surprising. Aho though, 57 points, 62 games. Kind of figured it'd be like him, Teravainen, or Nuge leading the team in scoring. So we can only make 2 more trades here, but hopefully there are a couple, you know, good ones. Can get some picks and get rid of some players here and just try and keep dropping in the standings. So I was looking through the trading block, guys, and Washington has both Vrana and Bowie on the block, which is really surprising because they're last in the league. Why would you have 2 good young players on the block? But that is up to them, I guess. So I'm going to try and trade for both of them here. They're 2 good young players. Like, this could be a huge steal for us. Alright, guys, so I originally wanted to trade for both Vrana and Bowie, but seeing how much Bowie would have cost me doesn't really make sense, especially because our top 6 already is so good. Also, they have Carlson on the block, but I mean, he's going to cost even more, and again, we have a good D. Doesn't make sense to give up the assets for him. I think, too, like, looking at their salary cap situation, he might end up in free agency, which would be huge. So I'm going to try and trade Cirelli here for Vrana. He's got, like, the same value, but obviously he's lower rated, 21.58. Vrana is 21.80, but he needs a new contract, which Washington can't afford. Now, I already tried trading Cirelli. It didn't work out, so I'm going to see if I can just maybe add, like, a pick here. I'd like to keep my 2018 pick, so I guess I'll trade a 2019 third. Definitely now I feel like this should go through, and it does. So I think that's honestly a huge steal, getting Vrana for that. And right here, guys, I'm going to make a final trade of this season, trading Ward to the Flames for Anaheim's 2nd round pick in this year's draft, and then Richards just there for the goalie spots, as otherwise they'd have too many goalies. I would love this trade if it goes through. We'll see what they say. Trade accepted. So yeah, there we go. I wasn't going to re-sign him anyway. And we just got a 2nd round pick, which honestly is a very good pick in the 2018 draft. So we're now at the end of the regular season here, guys. We actually had a 500 record after the deadline, even though our 2 goalies were 74 and 73 rated, because we traded away both Ward and Darling. Doesn't make any sense to me. Aho here finished with 71 points. I'm hoping he grows, if not already, over the summer. He's still an 85. We'll see how the rest of the team did. Then we'll check the standings. Seemed like a couple days ahead, so it's showing the playoffs. Falk there at 70 points in 82 games as a D-man. That's actually sick. Teravainen 67. Nuge 63. So, I mean, yeah, that first line was a very solid first line. Stahl even 46. Skinner there. Vrana did okay. Middlestat was hoping for a bit more. I was giving him 2nd line minutes. He only put up 26 points, but that is okay. Hopefully, you know, he'll just get better over the summer, come back even better. Goalies, actually really no reason to check. They're pretty bad, and they didn't play that much anyways. AHL team will quickly check. Nordstrom, Kruger. So another, like, Gauthier there's got 33 points, but really no one's like lighting the world up or anything like that. Entire league here. We'll see who led in scoring. So Stamkos there at 94, followed by McDavid there at 92. Then we got Kane, Kucherov, Besser. So the guys that are usually here are all up here still. And as you can see there, we finished the record of 35, 35, and 12. So hopefully it's enough to make us low team, but never mind. 82 points. We actually finished the best of the teams that missed the playoffs. Washington there, 79. The Islanders, 77. Pittsburgh there won the President's Trophy. Tampa Bay right behind them. Okay, so let's see here. Where are we picking? Did I already miss our team? Oh yeah, 21st. We're going to have to get very lucky to get one of those top 3 picks. Otherwise, we have like the 10th pick, and I'm pretty sure there's something like 9 players with medium elite potential, so that is a bit worrisome. So the draft lottery results just came in. Unfortunately, we did not win any of the lotteries. We were picking 11th, and like I was saying, I think there's 9 guys with medium elite potential. I could be wrong, but definitely want to try and move up at least a couple spots rather than risk missing out on one of them. Definitely need one of those guys to help out our team. Colorado there got 4th via Ottawa, which is kind of interesting. And I want to show you guys the retired players really quick, just so you can see what I did with all those guys on LTIR. So Marian Hossa here, you can see he's retired. He's like a 59. Same goes for Franzen there, MacArthur, Bolin. They actually just reduced all of their offensive and defensive awareness to like the lowest I could. That way it was just quick and easy. So hopefully you guys like that idea. I thought that'd make it, you know, better for those teams with those players. And before we get to the draft, guys, figured I'd show you the awards. As you can see, the Pittsburgh Penguins are back-to-back-to-back Stanley Cup champs. That's insane. They also won the President's Trophy. They actually beat the Oilers there in the Stanley Cup final. That would have been a 6th Stanley Cup final. I hope we can at least one day see McDavid versus Crosby in the Stanley Cup final. Like, that would just be legendary. We already know Stamkos got the Art Ross. He also got the Hart. James Norris there with the Brent Burns. McDavid got the Lady Bing. Besser there got the Calder. Murray with the Conn Smythe. Fleury, though, with the Vezina and the William Jennings. Chara, Bill Masterson, Kopitar, Selke, Stamkos got the Ted Lindsay, Ovi there, Maurice Richard. AHL awards, we'll check just to see if any of our guys got one. Looks like Luke Kunin cleaned up. He had like 4 or 5 awards there. Team awards, I don't even think our AHL team made the playoffs, but that's okay. So right here, guys, I'm actually trying to trade with Minnesota for the 9th overall pick. I just checked, counting up all the prospects. There are 9 guys with medium elite potential, assuming there's no like creative players in this draft. So offering them the 11th pick along with that Fogle prospect. Their pick is on the block. I think it's like the only top 10 pick on the block. So hopefully they'll say yes to this. Hopefully like he'll let us move up a couple spots. And they do say yes. I'm honestly surprised. Like the difference between the 11th pick and the 9th pick should not have been Fogle. As I mean, I know it's the difference between a medium top 6 and a medium elite, but I guess Minnesota does not know that. So we'll just sim to our pick here. You guys will actually see I've changed some of the ratings. The Islanders want to give me Grice here for a second. Going to say no to that. So Volino just got picked. As you can see there, Evan Bouchard is now medium elite as well. I also boosted his rating a bit as he should be a top 10 pick in this year's draft. Hughes there 6. Wallstrom got picked at 5th. Zadina there 4. Svechnikov 3. Kachuk got taken 2nd. And then Dallin there 1st. And as you can see, Dallin not only has medium franchise potential, he's also 80 overall out of the draft. That way he's a bit more NHL ready. Also, Kachuk, I think, grew a bit more than normal. For some reason, Kachuk grows because he's a created player. I think it's because he has an early birthday. Usually he ends up being a 76, I thought, but 77 ties Svechnikov. That's kind of crazy. Svechnikov usually, though, ends up like growing the most of all these guys. For whatever reason, it just always happens. And then Wallstrom there over Hughes. So that means that we'll actually be left with Bachfist here for this pick. So was hoping to get Volino or Wallstrom, one of the centers. But that's okay. At least we're getting somebody here with elite potential that has a lot of value. So pretty easy pick here, taking Bachfist. Hopefully, you know, he'll grow over this year next. And our next pick here is pick number 11 in the 2nd round. We actually have 3 second-round picks. This Bartovic guy, medium elite, that's a created player. Ryan Merkley here actually reduced to low elite. I remember everyone has a projected like late 1st round, and in this game he had medium elite, was going in the top 10. Didn't really make sense. So I was hoping with low elite he'd go in the late 1st round. Early 2nd, I guess, is close enough. You can see Addison got picked there. Some other guys. I think Noah Dobson actually we could have taken as well. He has high top 4D potential. Hayton there and Lundestrom, both medium top 6 now. Let's see. Bunch of medium top 6 guys in this draft. Actually, did Noah Dobson, Thomas there? If he didn't get taken yet, that's who we're taking. Oh, no, he got taken at 27. That could have been a huge steal for us. Gruel there also got picked. So, a lot of guys gone, but McLeod there as well. The fact that we have 3 second-round picks, like we have a chance here to really add some assets to this team. Alright, guys, so I started with the prospects by potential. I'm trying to decide right now between Alexiev and Bouchard. Bouchard either has medium top 6 or medium top 4. I can't remember. And then Alexiev, I believe, has low top 4 or medium top 4. I think it's low top 4, though, so I'm going to take a risk here on Bouchard. Hopefully I don't make a mistake. Medium top 6, that was definitely a mistake. And Alexiev did have low top 4, so he would have been the better pick. But after that, everyone that got picked was either like medium top 6 or medium top 9. So I can definitely make up for that last pick here. I know some of the players' ratings or potentials that are still available. So hopefully we can steal somebody here. I think the safe pick's taking Rodriguez. Medium star potential. That's pretty good value, especially for the 2nd round pick. Like, he'll have more value than a 2nd round pick would. And with our final pick here, guys, in the 2nd round, I'm going way off the board and taking Martin Kaut here. Didn't know he was still available. He's actually got low elite potential now. I guess, like, no one scouts the check, though. So I'm going to take him here just to ensure we get him, as we have our next 2 picks in the 4th round. And you never know, somebody might take him with, like, a late 3rd. So, yeah, low elite for him. Pretty solid there, I think, for the 2nd round. Next selection here is pick number 4 in the 4th round. I'm going to take Popovich here. I think has low top 6, so yeah, that's pretty good in the 4th round. And our final pick of the draft, actually, pick number 21 here in the 4th round. Honestly, this would be a pretty perfect draft if we took the Alexiev guy over Bouchard with our first 2nd round pick. I don't know why. For some reason, I just couldn't remember Bouchard's potential right. This is going to be a tough pick. Actually, no, we're definitely going Noel here. Low top 6. I think he's the best value. Unless there's like somebody else here. Let me see. I'm just going to check potential. There's that Filatov guy who has high elite, apparently, according to our scouts. So I was trying to decide between Filatov and Noel. I'm going to go with Noel right now, but I'm going to try and trade back in for the next pick and take a chance on the guy that our scout says high elite. Let's see what Detroit wants here. So because this does count as one of our trades, instead of just trading for their 4th, I'm also going to try and get their 6th and 7th. Hopefully get lucky with those picks. Offering them again this De Jong prospect, 70 potential, and then a couple 7ths in 19 and 20. We'll see if they say yes to this. Trade rejected. Okay, I thought they might reject that. Let's throw on like a 2025th. I feel like that should get it done. Like, that's pretty good value. There we go. Alright, so I'm really hoping my scouts are ready with this Filatov guy. High elite. Like, how low could he really be if they're saying he's got high elite? And low top 6. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy with that. We now have pick number 3 in the 6th round. This Stoll dude's available. Our scouts are saying medium elite. Let's see what he actually is. Low top 9. Okay, that sucks. I kind of traded for those late picks just to try on him. We still have one more pick here. Probably take like a goalie and just hope somehow he's like elite potential. Alright, so with our final pick here, going to try this Merrill's guy. I don't know how to say his name. Low bottom 6. He's a real player. I honestly don't know what he has. Give him a shot though. And medium AHL, okay. So we're now at the re-sign phase. We actually have almost 28 million in cap space, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, the only good player that needs re-signed, I think, is Hanifin and Lindholm. So centers here, Derek Ryan. I'm just going to let him go. He's old. So let's see here. Toulouse, I signed to trade. Never ended up doing that. Like I was saying, Lindholm's like the only other NHL player that actually needs a contract. 4.2 million for 3 years. That seems super expensive for an 82. I'm going to offer him 3.75 for 2. And even then, I think that's too much money. Veranda's 22.81. He wants 3.8. 1 year, he wants 3. I feel like he's got to prove it to me. He's just not worth the money that they're asking for. We'll give him 2.75 for 1 year. Hopefully, they'll grow. Stempniak's a 35-year-old, 80 overall winger. Wants 2.5 million. I don't know how he grew, but I'm letting him go. He's just too old. It's too risky. Hudler, you can see, already dropped. He's 34. Salison, Hoffman are decent AHL guys. I'll probably keep them both. And like I was saying, Hanifin's really the only big contract we have to give out. He's 87, only wants 5.2. That's a bargain. So let's see if he'll take 5 million here for 4 years. Like, that's crazy that he's 87, wants 5, and the 82s and 81s want like almost 4. This doesn't make sense to me. TVR, we'll see what he wants. He wants 3.5. We're already paying Schlemko 2. So actually, Schlemko could just kind of take TVR's role. Might as well do that. We'll just let him go. Not a big deal. Delbeck, we're just going to let him go as well. Morrow, we'll keep for the AHL. He's a decent AHL D-man, I think. Bachfist will also give a contract to. Worst case, he's in the AHL this year. Both these goalies, Smith and Richett, or actually Richett's got he's 25 years old. Who cares? You'll let both of them go. So we're at 25 of 50 contracts. We can sign so many players. Every single player I made a contract offer on accepted. So we're now at free agency. Hopefully, there we go. Some players to spend money on. John Carlson did become a free agent. We have, 16.8. We can outbid everybody. And I mean, I think it was Pesci's an 81 now. So I wouldn't mind signing Carlson and then trading away Pesci. He wants 6.2. I'm just going to outbid everybody, hopefully. I mean, he's 88 overall, and he's 28 years old. No reason he'll get worse. Let's go like 7.5. Why not? We can definitely afford it for 3 years. I don't see anyone coming close to that. Obviously, too, we didn't make the playoffs. We're going to have to pay more. Stashny, we really don't need a center right now. We're pretty good there. Could use a couple wingers. Also, goalies. You really could use a goalie. Halakvo is the best goalie, 82 overall. Same with Bernier. Okay, so we'll sign Bernier here to be our backup. And then we're going to have to go and trade for a starter. I'll just give him 2 million for 1 year. Hopefully that's enough. No one else gets them. Let's see here. Going to check potentials as well. So other than Carlson and Bernier, I just made offers on a bunch of AHL players. As like I said, we only had 25 of 50 contracts. We could definitely use some. And then for NHL players, like the ones I want are RFAs. Zucker would be nice. Same with Kemp. Thornton and Stashny. We really don't need a center. Although we could move Stashny to the wing, I guess. I don't know if it'd be worth it, though. I don't even think we have a spot for him, to be honest. Adam Lowry I'd also like. So all these guys that I want, we have to make trades for. Same with Ryder. So just going to wait and see what everyone says. Really just hope Carlson says yes. That'd be a huge boost to the team. So Sokolov here accepted our offer. He's not too bad. Same with Masterin. They both have top 9. This guy here's got top 6. Also, everyone I made offers on was like below 23, I think. So they're, young still. Have time to grow. Haven't heard back from Carlson yet, though. I feel like we had to have outbid every single team. So Seth Griffith accepted our offer. He's not too bad. Hayden rejected, though. Went with Chicago. He was an RFA. Bernier accepted, so we do have our backup. Bertuzzi, De La Rose. Ernie accepted as of now. Poirier went with the Flames. Stallard accepted. Still have not heard back from Carlson. And there we go. John Carlson did accept our offer. That's amazing. Probably going to trade Pesci now, honestly. And maybe we can combine him with like a first-round pick for a decent goalie, because we still don't have a starter. So right now, guys, trying to make a trade with LA for Kemp and Ryder. Both are on the block as they're both RFAs, and LA doesn't have the cap to sign them. Offering them Filatov and Stoll here. Both are unsigned prospects that they want. Filatov low top 6, Stoll low top 9. Obviously, it'll work because they're unsigned. I don't have to worry about the salary cap. I think they'll say yes. The value's even. They want both. They're trying to trade the other two. And there we go. So that's huge for us. We actually only had like 8 NHL forwards. Now we have 10. Still need to go trade for a couple more. And now, guys, we're trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. We still need a starting goaltender. Nashville actually has Saros on the block. He's still young, 23 years old, 83 overall, has medium starter potential. So with Bernie behind him, they could split games essentially, but Saros could get more starts, hopefully grow. Also trying to get Yarncroc here. 80 overall would be a solid 3rd or 4th liner for us. Also his salary there is pretty good. I'm offering up Pesci again. He's 81 now. I think he's overpaid. Plus with the addition of Carlson, really don't need him. Popovich here, decent prospect, low top 6. And then Renun here, I think we just signed him, medium top 6. All 3 of those guys actually add up to a bit more than Saros and Yarncroc. So I'm curious if Nashville's going to say yes to this or not. And they do say yes, so that's huge. That's now 4 trades though on the year. We can only make 1 more trade. So probably going to sign like 1 forward in free agency, and then we'll get started with 2019. So right here, guys, look at the team going into this season. Honestly, we have a very good shot at the playoffs, maybe even like an outside shot at the cup. First line here, of course, is still Aho, Nugent Hopkins, and Teravainen. Aho is actually a high top 6 now, opposed to medium top 6. Lindholm, Middlestat, and Skinner on the second line. I don't know how Middlestat didn't grow at all. I mean, he did only have like 30 points. Hopefully, he'll have more this year. Kemp, Stahl, Veranda, that's the sick third line. Then Griffith, Yarncroc, and Ryder on the fourth line. That's honestly pretty solid fourth line as well. Defense here, Hanifin now in 87, Falk now in 89, so sick top pair. Carlson and Slavin, very good second pair. Then we have Fleury and Schlemko there on the bottom pair. Goalies here, Saros is starting, Bernier there backing him up. Hopefully, now that he's the starter opposed to backing up Rene, you know, he'll grow even more. AHL there, Nedeljkovic is the starter, Hallinan backing him up. AHL team's also looking pretty good, lots of 70s. Gauthier and Nikas, I'd love to see grow. Defensively, we have Morrow there paired up with Bachfist, so hopefully, you know, him playing on the top line, he can grow a lot. I have seen him grow as high as like an 86 or something by the 3rd year, so I would love for that to happen for us. And one other thing here, our team status is now contenders, so hopefully we do contend this season. Let's find out. So we're at the trade deadline now, and look at our record, 38, 18, and 7. We're even doing better than the Lightning, absolutely crushing it. AHL team there is just over 500. I can't believe, honestly, how good this team's playing. Like, I thought they'd probably be in a playoff spot, but we're probably, yeah, we're first in the division. That's insane. 83 points. Aho there has 53 through 63 games. So we can only make 1 trade, as we already made 4 this season, but hopefully we can make some big trade here. I'm thinking add a nice forward piece to help us, you know, make this Stanley Cup push. All right, guys, so I'm trying to make 1 big trade here at the deadline to get Henrique and Silverberg from the Ducks. Both are on the block. Henrique's 83, Silverberg's 82. That would fill out our forwards so well. Offering them our first round pick in this year's draft. Bouchard, who we drafted last year in the 2nd. Mastern, I think we just signed. Same with, Morales here we actually drafted. Same with Rassinen. So we'll see if that's enough. The value is on our side. Both those guys are on the block. And we can take them back at full value as well. I think they say yes. They did too. So, okay, that was 1 trade. And we should be stacked now for this playoff run. So here's an update look at the forward group. Aho, Nugent Hopkins, and Teravainen still the first line. We now have Lindholm, Henrique, and Skinner on the 2nd. Silverberg, Stahl, and Veranda on the 3rd. And then Yarncroc, Middlestat, and Kemp on the 4th. So this team is stacked. Hopefully we can make a run. So we just finished the season. Final record, 48, 25, and 9. That is insane, just kind of the turnaround. I guess we weren't really that bad last year. I was trying to make us as bad as I could, and even with 270 goalies, we didn't do too bad. Pittsburgh, though, wow, they tied us in points, both 105. New York Rangers, 103. Jeez, okay, so we're going to have some competition here in the East, even just getting out of our own division. Aho, again, leading scorer, 71 points. Teravainen there, 61. Skinner had 54 on the second line. Falk, 54, not quite as good as last year, but he's an 89 now. Veranda 53 on the 3rd line. That's actually sick. Hopefully it grows a ton. Stahl there. Nuge at 51. Carlson 53. I mean, this team is like producing like all over the place. Check out and see how Saros did. So 39-21, good record. 6 shutouts. Pretty solid save percentage. Really good goals against actually. 2.13. So I could see him definitely growing again over the summer. Quick look here to see who led the league in points. Patrick Kane, followed by Backstrom and Ovi, so they're on fire right now. Kucherov, Kessel, Crosby. Any new names? I guess Pasternak's usually not there. Other than that, it's pretty much all the same guys. And I'm curious to see here if Pittsburgh beat us out for the President's Trophy, or was there like another team in the mix? Obviously, they had more regulation overtime wins by 3. And yeah, so we were the 2 top teams in the entire league. That sucks. Tied for the President's Trophy, but lost it on the tiebreaker. That's okay. Like, that's a huge turnaround. And last place there, the Red Wings. Maybe they'll win Jack Hughes. So in the first round of the playoffs, we're matched up with the New York Rangers. Honestly surprised they like turned it around so quick. Nemesnikov, Zibanejad, Zuccarello is the first line for them. Buchnevich, Spooner, and Kreider's the second. VC Hayes, Colborne, Fast, Holland, Bolesky. Really nothing too crazy. On defense, Shea's solid. Same with Shattenkirk. I mean, I don't know. This team, I don't know how they got that many points. I guess Lundqvist is just playing out of his mind. They also have Halakina as the backup, so hopefully we can get by them. So first game here, 1-1 after 1. Skinner and Colborne each score. Varan and Teravainen give us the lead. And then there we go, 4-2 win. Aho there with the 4th goal. So up 1-0. Hopefully we can keep this going. Game number 2. We're down 2-0 early. We need to come back. There we go. Skinner with 2. Putting the team on his back. And Henrique with 2. There we go. That's what I like to see. Skinner gets it done in the 2nd. Henrique gets it done in the 3rd. Glad to see that trade he made with the Ducks paying off. So we're up 2-0 here on the Rangers. Would love to actually just go into Madison Square right now and win a game, go up 3-0 in this series. There we go. Aho gets a goal. And Middlestat gets 1. He hasn't been scoring too much. And that is enough to win it. 2-0 win. Lundqvist is trying, but the Rangers here are not helping him out. So we're keep simming here. Imagine we sweep the Rangers. That'd be pretty sick. So game number 4. Teravainen opens up the scoring. Nothing in the 2nd. And then Fleury and Silverberg. There we go. 3-0 win. I think that was back-to-back shutouts for Saros. That is awesome to see, and we get the sweep on the Rangers. So the second round of the playoffs, we're matched up with the Penguins. So dumb how like the 2 best teams in the league have to play each other in the second round of the playoffs. Makes no sense. Hornqvist, Crosby, Kessel's their first line. They have Broussard playing wing here with Malkin and Sherry on the 2nd. Aston Reese, Gensel, Sprong on the 3rd. Bennett, Rust, and Hagelin on the 4th. I mean, they're stacked. Schultz, Letang, Madden, Martinez they traded for. They got Dumoulin, Alexiak, Murray. What is he now? He's an 89. Stalock there backing him up. So, I mean, we do have a chance. I'm going to show you guys the ratings as well for this, just so you can get an idea. We actually have, I think, 1 lower offense, 1 higher defense, and the goaltending. Murray's a lot better, but Saros has been playing crazy, so maybe we can get it done. So here we go. First period, game 1. Sherry scores. 2nd period, nothing. And 3rd period, okay. So lost the first game 3-1. That's alright. I just want to hope for the best here. Like this, I'm still so upset. Like this should have been the Eastern Conference Final at the minimum. Looks like they also swept their first series. So yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Sherry again gets the first goal. Big 2nd period for them. And yeah, we cannot come back. So down 2. Can we at least win 1 game? Like, I don't want to get swept here after sweeping the Rangers. That'd be pretty embarrassing. Penguins are 6-0 right now in the playoffs. Come on, let's make something happen here. There we go. Yarncroc. Broussard answers back, but Aho gets 1, so we're up 2-1. And then nothing in the 3rd. There we go. Held on. Brought this series closer. If we lost that game, went down 3-0 to the Pens, that's pretty much game over. But 2-1 series, I think anything can happen still. So game number 4. We're actually playing at home now too, so maybe we just play better here in Carolina. First period, nothing. 2nd period, tied up 1-1. Gensel and Skinner each score. And 2nd period, 2 more Sprong and Aho. So going to OT. And Malkin gets the OT winner. We really needed that one. Tie the series up. But you never know. Can we win 3 straight? Most likely not, but it could happen. Let's see here. We got to go into Pittsburgh and win 1 eventually. Let's make it happen right now. Come on. Keep playoff hopes alive. So nothing in the first. 2nd period. We're down by 1. We can't answer back though. There we go. Yarncroc, Henrique. Martinez scores for them. We're going to OT. And there we go. Teravainen keeps our hopes alive. The big OT winner. So that was huge. 2 games left here. We can win 2 games against Pittsburgh. Come on. This team we built, it's a good team. 2 games is all we need. Play the upset. Here we go. First period, nothing. 2nd period, oh no. We need a big 3rd period. And we do not get it. Middlestat gets 1, but it's not enough. So That's just really bad luck. Like, the two best teams meet in the semifinals. Just nothing you can do. So the draft lottery results just came in, guys. Minnesota there with the first overall pick. Gonna get Jack Hughes. Detroit actually picking 4th. They lost all 3 lotteries. That is extremely unlucky. Can't even talk. Also, some big news to show you guys. We are witnessing a dynasty. Pittsburgh Penguins with their 4th straight Stanley Cup. That is ridiculous. Imagine if they actually pulled that off in real life. Like look at that. That's unreal. Plus 2 straight President's Trophies as well. They beat the Dallas Stars there in the Stanley Cup final this year. Patty Kane, Dart Ross, we know that in the Hart. Petrangelo, James Norris, Lady Byng, Nick Backstrom, Peterson there with the Calder. So Vancouver gets it in back-to-back years. Canucks fans will like that. Those are the 2 best prospects in the world apparently. Murray back-to-back Conn Smythe, and Crosby had it back-to-back before that. Vezina there went to Rene. Bishop with the William M. Jennings. Zadorov got Bill Masterson. Bergeron, Selke, Kane, Ted Lindsay. Ovi there, Maurice Richard. AHL here. Just looking to see if any of our players got something, and I don't think they did. Carter Hart, though, minimum goals against or something. Plus, I don't think our team even made the playoffs, so yeah, no AHL awards. But we did lose to the Stanley Cup champions, so can't feel too bad. So our first pick in the 2019 draft actually wasn't until pick number 24 in the 4th round. I believe we have 2 4ths, a 5th, and a 6th, so we do have the 4 pick minimums. Unfortunately, just no pick in the first 3 rounds. It really sucks, but I mean, our team was essentially like tied for the best in the league last year. Can't be too upset. So we have a low top 6 here. There's also a goalie there who could be good. Let's just take a chance on this Breen guy. Who cares? Low elite. Okay, that's pretty good first pick. And our next pick here is pick number 24 in the 5th round. I thought we had 2 4ths. Maybe we actually had 2 6ths. I don't know. I just saw 2. Edmonton acquired Vatanen. There's always some interesting trades going on with the computers. I saw Toronto had like Quinn Hughes on the block for some reason. So we got this Pilon guy. Could just take a chance on him, I guess. Last time the first guy worked out. Will he work out again? Medium 7th, not quite. Forgot to show you guys actually the first round. So Jack Hughes did go 1st overall. Parent here, this is a created player 2nd. Same with Orpik. Byram there going 4th. I really don't think I like the created players, but they do this because if you don't edit the prospects, Byram's like 49 overall and AHL, so it'd be actually no one good to get. Cousins there 5th, Kako 6th, Kane's also created, then we got Dodge, Caulfield, so kind of realistic. Now pick number 3 in the 6th round. Hopefully I can get somebody a little better than the last one. I mean, we had 1 good pick, 1 not so good pick. I guess we'll take it. Goalie here. Goalie's usually okay. Low fringe. Let's just take him, whatever. Medium backup. Alright, could have been a better draft. And our last pick here, guys, pick number 24 now in the 6th round. Alright, so this Antropov dude has low bottom 6. People are saying I should take the guys that are low because they could be better. We'll try it here. And he's a medium AHL. I mean, he could have been better, but he also, as you can see there, could be worse. So overall, not the best draft ever. Hopefully, we can make another big splash in free agency and see if we can actually win the Stanley Cup here in the final year. So we're now at the re-sign phase. We have $23.5 million in cap space. Have a few, solid players to re-sign though. Henrique here's at 82 now. Got him at the deadline. Not interested in an extension, so we'll just let him go, I guess. Middle stats an 80. Hopefully he'll grow a bit over the summer. I don't know why he's not. Marcus Kruger finally done with that contract, so we do need a center there by the looks of it. Aho's going to want to get paid. 5.3 for 3 years though. That's not too bad at all, really. I'll offer him $5 million right on for the 3 years. Skinner also wants to get paid. What's he going to want? $6 million for 8. It's not terrible. It's not terrible either. Maybe he'll go 5.5 for 8. I think that's pretty fair. Let's see. Teravainen needs a new contract as well. 5.8 for 3. Okay, we'll try 5.5 for him as well. Hopefully we have enough money for all these guys. Kemp. Last time we got him for around that. So, I mean, I'll see if he takes 2.5. If not, we'll just qualify and hopefully no one takes him. Bertuzzi here should be an AHL contract. He doesn't want an AHL contract, so we're just going to qualify. Riders 26 and 77. That's pretty bad. I'm just going to let him go. Right wingers, Verana wants a new deal. 4.7. Let's do 1 year here. Make it another prove-it deal. He did get a little better, but still don't think he's quite worth that. Silverberg I'd like to keep. I don't know if I have the money. He's not interested in an extension. I guess that deal we made was just for a one shot at the cup there. We'll let Griffith go. Defense here. So our top 4 is all locked up. Carlson's actually 89 now, and Falk's an 87, which is weird because Carlson was on the second pair, but whatever. Fleury's an 80. Hopefully he'll grow a bit. 1.5 for 2, I think, is more than fair for him. Schlemko's down to a 79. I think I could probably trade him, but if not, could buy him out and save $1.5 million. I feel like just buy him out. Could trade, but uses up one of our trades. Buyout cost 700. Yeah, we're just gonna buy him out there. Just play it safe. Joe Morrow's a 78 anyways. We could keep him, be our last defenseman. Make it down here 25k. We could just bury him if we want to. Just noticed too, Bachvis is a 77 now, so he could even potentially get to like an 80 by the end of the summer. That'd be huge. And in goal, look at this. Saros is now an 88, and we're paying him 2.75. That's insane. 88 overall goalie, making less than $3 million, and that would have to be just because of how good a year he had last year. Yeah, 68 games played. I mean, 39 and 21, 6 shutouts, .926, 2.13 goals against. That's awesome. Bernier, though, wants a new contract. He was a solid backup last year. He actually wants less, too, than we paid him last year, so save a bit of money. Nedeljkovic is a good AHL starter. Wants 750k. That's more than fair. And hopefully, I think we have enough money for all those people, but we don't probably have a lot of money left to like spend on a free agent. All right, guys, we're at the free agency period. Every single person we made an offer on accepted, except for Bernier. We gave him exactly what he wanted, and he wouldn't sign. I don't know why. He said he wanted like more play time or something. Look at this. Drew Doughty is available again. We just do not have the money. I feel like I always forget he'll sometimes be available. I don't know why. Like, I mean, maybe he just told LA he's going to the free market. Wheeler's available. Same with Panarin. Really, though, we need a center more than anything. But we do have the money, or just about the money, to get Panarin. McDonough, really don't need another defenseman. Pacioretty we could sign, though. Brassard, like I said, we need a center. I think I'd rather trade for somebody a bit better, though. So there's some big names there. The one that interests me the most, though, would definitely be Panarin. I learned my lesson about signing Wheeler last time, as he costs more, but Panarin's actually going to keep his rating because he's younger. And if we need a defenseman, obviously, go get Doughty, but all we really need right now is a backup goalie. Fleury and Gibson. Wow, so Anaheim just doesn't have the money for Gibson. 25-year-old, 89 overall goalie on free agency. Same with Fleury's an 89, Talbot's an 84. This would have been the year to have a ton of cap space. Jeez. All right, guys, right now I'm trying to make a trade for a first-line center. Nuge dropped from 84 to 83. He's trying to get Couture here, who's an 85. Plus, he's actually $1.5 million less than Nuge, so hopefully that'll give us enough money to sign Panarin, which would be huge. Offering Rodriguez here, along with Noel and Sokolov to try and like bridge the gap between Nuge and Couture. The value's on our side. They want all 4 players. Sharks are hopeful, so they're starting to rebuild. Maybe they'll take this deal. Here we go. Trade rejected. Okay, I thought, they might say yes. Try adding maybe a pick here. Could add a second-round pick that they're interested in. We'll have to take a 7th back, though, so we still have 4 picks in this year's draft, or I guess they only have a 6th. They got to say yes now. Like, this is so much to go up by 2 overall, but also that $1.5 million could be huge. And they do say yes. That might have been too much, but if we get Panarin, it was worth it. So Panarin's asking for 6.6. We have 7.8 million. New York Islanders are the only other team interested right now, so I'll offer 7 million for 7 years and hope that's enough. Now with the 800k, we could probably still sign a backup goalie, or at least I hope we can. And as you guys can see here, Panarin accepted our offer, so that's awesome. Definitely gonna be a huge help. Now I think we have to try and shed some cap to get a backup goalie, and then also add a couple like 4th line forwards. We don't have enough money for Mike Smith, so Kincaid is a little younger, so I'll sign him. One other team interested. Okay, we'll outbid a little bit. We'll give him $1.5 million there for 2 years. We now have our backup goalie. Defense is set. I think forwards are actually set aside from like a 12th forward, so I'm just going to wait through the summer and hope one of our random AHL players grows. If not, we'll sign like somebody, the best player we can sign for cheap, I guess. All right, guys, this is what the team's looking like going into this season. Aho, Couture, Panarin's on the first line. Finally have like a top-tier winger, or just top-tier forward even, in Panarin. Teravainen, Stahl, and Skinner's the second line. Verana, Middlestat, and Lindholm is the third. And then Samuelson, Yarncroc, and Kemp's the fourth. I think this is like the first time Samuelson's actually made the NHL team. Defense, though, is stacked. Hannafin's now an 89. Same with Carlson, so that's the top pair. Falk there and Slavin. Falk actually dropped a bit to an 87. Fleury, though, is up to an 82, playing with Bachvis, who's a 79 now. Obviously, medium elite, he's just going to grow. Goalie, Saros there is 88, so I mean, that's going to be a huge difference maker for us. Even though our backup's a bit worse now in Kincaid, Saros is so much better, it shouldn't matter too much. And then the AHL team also looks pretty good, lots of 70s there. I've got Nikas on the first line. Maybe he'll grow. I mean, he's probably not going to make the NHL team, obviously, in 6 months. Same goes for Gauthier, so could potentially trade both of them if it really helps us at the deadline. I'll try not to, though, just for realism, unless, it's a very good trade. We're about a week away from the trade deadline. Just got this offer from New York. They want to give me Nemestikov, a 4th and a 7th for our first-round pick in 2020. We would still have 4 picks in 2020 if we did this. I'm curious how good Nemestikov is. I could even make him my second-line center if he has decent face-offs. He's 83 overall, 72 face-offs. It's not a terrible offer. Let's see. He does have 1 year left. He's making $5 million. I feel like I don't know how this would go through salary cap wise. I feel like it could probably get better though. Now getting an offer from the Leafs. They want to give me Marlowe, a 4th and a 6th for Nedeljkovic, and a 4th. Curious how good Marlowe still is. He's an 82. I mean, he'd honestly be on our 4th line. It's not worth it. Big offer from LA here. They want to get Nikas from us and a few picks for Forbert, a couple other picks, and LaFellow, but going to decline. Really, all we need is a second-line center. Move Stahl down to the 3rd line, Middlestat to the 4th line, Yarncroc from 4th-line center to the wing, and then we'd be pretty much like as full as a team, like as good a depth team as you can have. Looks like we'll have 36 wins apparently at the deadline here. So 72 plus, we'll have 76 points at the deadline. It's pretty solid. We'll see where we are in the division standings. We're second place, 2 points there behind the Capitals, and Panarin's our leading scorer with 50 points. So yeah, like I was saying, gonna try and get a second line center. It's really all we need. Alright guys, so I'm trying to make a huge trade here with the Minnesota Wild for Mikael Granlund. I was actually trying to trade for him before the season, back in the summer, but he wasn't on the block, and I couldn't get him for the right price. Even like Nuge plus a couple decent prospects and a couple picks, they said no, but now he's on the block. Would love to have him. He'd actually be our first line center, moving Couture down to the 2nd line. We'd be stacked. So I'm offering them Breen here, low elite potential. Same with Kaut. Hallinen's decent. Morrow they want, and then also a first-round pick in 2020, which they want. I mean, the value's on our side. Both of them are on the block. Let's see what they say. Trade accepted. That is huge. That's honestly the only trade I think I'm going to make because our team is pretty much set, so let's try and win the Stanley Cup. Alright guys, look at this team. I would say this is a Stanley Cup contending team. Panarin, Granlund, and Aho is the first line. We got Skinner, Couture, and Teravainen on the 2nd. Lindholm, Stahl, Verana on the 3rd. Yarncroc, Middlestat, and Kemp on the 4th. Like, that's a lot of depth, a lot of firepower. Hanifin and Karlsson's one of the best D pairs in the league. Falk, Slavin on the 2nd. Fleury, Bockfist on the 3rd. Bockfist is an 81 now. He just keeps getting better. And then, of course, you got Saros and Ned. So I'm excited, and hopefully the sim goes well. So it's now the end of the regular season. Finished the record of 47, 31, and 4. Honestly, thought we would have done a little better, but we did have a bit of a losing streak for a few games. So I don't know. AHL team, almost identical record. Should be in the playoffs. We have 98 points. It'd be like the best team to ever miss. All right, yeah. So 3rd place there, 1 behind Columbus. Washington, though, 108. And we're going to play Columbus, though, first round. So Panarin can kind of have at his old team, I guess. He was also our leading scorer there, 66 points. Skinner had 54, same with Aho. Karlsson also had 54, Couture, Granlund. I mean, that's not too bad. 6 players with 50-plus points. Hanifin and Falk as D-men almost had 50. Teravainen was pretty close too. So overall, his team played pretty well. Middlestat should have had more points. Same with Verana. Let's see how Saros did in net. Save percentage was not as good as last year, or the goals against, so maybe it was the team in front of him. Kingcad, though, very good save percentage and very good goals against. So strange. Maybe he just got all the good matchups. I'm not really sure. And Patrick Kane again gets the Art Ross Trophy, 95 points there. Ben and Sagan both went off. Tavares also had a lot of points. Still on the Islanders, as you'll see there. Sod doesn't make any sense when he gets a ton of points. Mark Stone, that's a new name. Same with Barkov. They're usually not up there that high. So as you already saw, we finished 3rd in the division. Just curious to see where we finished the entire league. 7th place, so pretty good with 98 points. I was actually worried when we had like 5 games out. We had like low 90s, but I guess that would have been enough. And last place again is the Red Wings. They're just full tank mode. So like I was saying, guys, in the first round, we're up against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Atkinson, Wenberg, Dadonov, there's their first line. Foligno, Dubois, Vanek. I mean, looking at it here, we have a much, much better forward group. Defense, they always have, Wrensky, Jones, and Murray who are sick. After that, though, the other 3 are pretty bad, so I'd actually take our team. I mean, our top pair is better. Second pair is also better, so yeah. They do have, like, one, I think. Their 3rd defenseman's better, but that's about it. Bobrovsky, though, in net with Korpisel backing him up. That is one thing to worry about, but I think we can get it done. So first period, guys, of Game 1. 1-1 here. Kemp and Jenner each score. Nothing in the second. And Ahl and Couture come through in the third period. There we go. So 3-1 lead. Or sorry, 3-1 win. Going to game 2. Would love to get a 3-1 lead in this series. Hopefully we can win both games in Columbus. I just realized we're actually playing that game away. That'd be huge. AHL team's actually in the playoffs for the first time in this. Here we go. Nothing in the first. Bad second period. And wow, not a good game 2 there. Lost 5-0. Luckily we got the win there in the first game. Hopefully we can come back to Carolina, bounce back. For game number 3, up 1 already. Skinner with a goal. Skinner with another. Falk with 1. And there we go. 3-0 win. Saros with a shutout. Not a bad comeback game. Game 4 now, we really have a chance to pull away in this series. Granlund gets 1. Anderson does. So does Panarin. Finally scores on his old team. And Rowensky forces it to OT. But Aho there with the OT winner. That is huge. Series would have been tied. And now we actually do have that 3-1 series lead. It came true. So need to win one of these next 3 games. 2 away, 1 home. Hopefully we can get it done here. Game 5, not to worry about a game 6 or 7. Granlund gets 1. Granlund gets another. They answer back, though. Tie game. And Skinner there. Series winner. So moving on to round 2. So the second round, guys, are matched up with the Washington Capitals. First line there is sick. Ovi, Backstrom, and Oshie. Burakovsky, Kuznetsov, Connolly's not too bad a second line. Third and fourth lines, ours are definitely better. Just noticed they actually have Brady Tkachuk, who's only an 81. So they drafted him as like a 77. He's only grown 4. I bet you Svechnikov's a lot higher. Suter, I don't know. They must have traded for him. Yeah, because he's locked up for a while. That's interesting. Orlov, Niskanen, Bowie, Alzner. So they got Alzner back as well. Then Juice there. Goalies, obviously, yeah, Holtby's he's starting. Samsonov's backing up at 84 overall. So they also have a very good starting goaltender and backup. Need to find a way through. First game, first period. 1-1, Suter and Couture each score. A lot of goals here in the second. We're actually down 4-2 now. Come on, we need a big third. And nobody shows up for us in the third period. That's okay. We can bounce back here. So game number 2 in Washington. Nothing in the first. Second period's tied. Ennis and Falk each scored. I didn't even realize they had Tyler Ennis. And there we go. Granlund OT winner. Looks like he was right in the crease for that one. Tying it up. That's huge. We would have went down 2-0. That would have been pretty catastrophic. So coming back to Carolina. Would love to get back-to-back wins here and get another 3-1 series lead. So game number 3. Nothing in the first. Ennis scores for them again in the second. Geez. And Ovi there in the third. Okay, so 2-0 loss. That's not good when your team doesn't score a single goal. But still lots of hockey left here. We need to tie this up. And hopefully can win a tiebreaker. Game 5 in Washington. Here we go. Game 4. Nothing in the first. It's not a good second period. Burakovsky, Ovi, Ennis. Couture gets 1. We can come back, though. We got our 2 goals, but Tkachuk, Backstrom scored for them. So down 3-1, not the spot I wanted to be in, that's for sure. This is a good team we constructed. They can definitely win 3 straight games. It's going to be tough, though. So here you go. Game number 5. Our life is on the line. Have to quick sell a Team of the Year Aho. That'd be terrible if we lose this. Here we go. 1-1. Teravainen and Ovi each score. Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's that second period. 5 goals for Washington. That's the shitty way to go out. The draft results just came in. Vegas with the first overall pick. Then you get Alexis Lafreniere. So that'd be pretty nasty, honestly. Playoffs in their first year. Then Lafreniere, the first overall pick in 2020. Pittsburgh did not win 5 straight Stanley Cups, as you guys are about to see. The Edmonton Oilers there are the Stanley Cup champions. Connor McDavid was the only person, I guess, that could dethrone Crosby. I'm actually not sure if they played them in the Stanley Cup final or not. No, they played the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa Bay actually beat Pittsburgh in the second round. That sucks. We didn't get by the second round in either playoff, and we had a really good team each time. The East is just so good. I think the East is honestly a lot better than the West, at least in this game. Edmonton there, though, beating Arizona. It's a surprise to see them in the playoffs. Then San Jose, then St. Louis. They didn't even go to Game 7 in their whole series. Or whole playoffs. That's kind of crazy. Take a look at the awards here. So obviously we know the Stanley Cup winner, President's Trophy, all that stuff. Player awards. Jamie Benn got the Hart, actually. Brent Burns, James Norris again. Kane, Lady Bing. Sam Steele for Anaheim gets the Calder. That's kind of interesting. He'd be like a 21-year-old rookie, 22-year-old rookie. Would have been playing the AHL for a lot. Clefbaum, actually, Conn Smythe. He must have tore it up to get it over McDavid to the goalie. Bobrovsky with the Vezina. Andy William Jennings. Juleson there, Bill Masterson. Ryan O'Reilly with the Selke. Jamie Benn got the Ted Lindsay as well. Tarasenko there, Maurice Richard. AHL team, I wasn't even paying attention. Frost there got MVP. Wallstrom with the Griffins. Got most goals. That's cool to see. Like I was saying, I wasn't even paying attention to see how our AHL team did. I don't think we won anything. Yeah, we didn't win the Calder Cup. Doesn't look like our AHL team won anything either. So, unfortunate. I mean, we won the Stanley Cup a lot the last, few episodes. Eventually, luck will run out. So, get to quick select Team of the Year Aho now, which really sucks. Alright, guys, this is the price we pay for not being a good GM. 95 overall, Team of the Year Aho. Essentially costs 100k here. This is the cheapest one up. Buying it, because I didn't own him yet. And we get to quick sell him now. I actually did plan on buying him for a different video, so I don't know if I'll buy another one or what, but item options, just bought him, and now he's gone, so that really hurts. Gonna make sure that doesn't happen in the next one, which will be the Chicago Blackhawks, I believe. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this one, leave that thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching as always. Have a nice day. Goodbye.